All right, Coach, thanks for joining us. Congrats on the win. Congrats on win number 200 as well. Let you take over.
All right, thanks, guys. As we always say, players win games, and our players won this game. They made great plays down the stretch, stayed with it. Thought we had great execution in overtime and really good execution there late. CJ just fumbled the ball there in our last action, but give our guys credit. Purdue's a phenomenal team. They're tough. I think they're really good, really well coached, physical, and to do this under some unique circumstances and with some unique lineups is a great testament to our players.
Just a reminder, got a number of questions here, so one question each, and we'll get through everybody. We'll go ahead and start with Brendan Gulick and Stephen Means on deck. Brendan.
Chris, congrats on an emotional win for sure. Seth Towns has been such an instrumental part of your culture throughout the year, but maybe hasn't had, spotlight moments to shine. And he really had that opportunity, obviously in overtime, but it really came once EJ Liddell fouled out. Can you give us an idea of what you've seen from Seth throughout the course of the year that made you comfortable knowing he could excel when he was given this opportunity tonight?
Seth and I had a conversation last night, and after we had a chance to spend some one-on-one time together, I just felt really confident in that he was going to play well here. You don't know if it's going to be the next day, but I just felt really confident in his mindset, where his head was. He and I texted last night late. I just felt really good about where he was at, and I did think he would play well here. Whether it was a game or two from now or this game, and I give the kid credit, man. It's a great credit to him.
All right, next up, Stephen Means with Patrick Murphy on deck.
Yeah, Coach, could you just take us through what you were trying to get there with that last play of the regulation with CJ Walker there?
Yeah, it's just a step-up action we ran. He just fumbled the ball. Yeah, just to space step-up action, he just fumbled the ball.
All right, next up, Patrick Murphy with
Whitney
Harding.
We've run it a number of times and scored. He just mishandled the ball.
All right, Patrick Murphy with Whitney Harding on deck. Patrick.
Chris, do you have any update on Kyle at this point? And what was it like when you got the news? Obviously Purdue's in the middle of a run there. You got the news that he wasn't coming back in, and the response from your guys to get the win without him.
I thought it was a phenomenal response. Yeah, phenomenal response. Again, our guys executed so well. When Justice getting to the free throw line, I thought was critical. And then overtime offensively, guys made plays, and Dwayne made some phenomenal reads off of. We really ran a similar action most of overtime, and Dwayne made some phenomenal reads. So, listen, it was a tough one without Kyle because he was unbelievable in the first half. I don't have an update on him. Right now, I'm waiting to meet with the doctors.
All right, next up is Whitney Harding with Steve Hellwagon. Whitney.
Hey, Chris. For as exciting as this game was, now the next one is the one that so many have been wanting to see again. What did you guys learn from the first time you played Michigan, and how excited is the group for the rematch?
Well, I think they're still feeling this, coming down a little bit from this one. They do understand we're playing a terrific Michigan team, and well coached and really, really good. We've got to defend a lot better, Whitney, than what we did in game one. We got to defend a lot better. We got to somehow get our legs under us and be able to respond quickly to a team that is a really complete team offensively and defensively. I think those are the big challenges in front of us right now is we've got to get rest and respond. We understand we're playing a great team. When you advance in this tournament, you're going to play great teams. I thought we played a great team today, but it's a great challenge tomorrow.
All right, Steve Hellwagon with Bill Landis on deck. Steve.
Yeah, Coach, I'm curious what the mindset was in some of those late game timeouts and huddles, because there had to be almost some shell shock involved when you give up an 18-point lead.
No.
I mean,
No. It's college basketball, Steve. It's college basketball.
How did you
College basketball.
how did you keep the guys' heads and minds in this, and for them to pull it out the way they did?
Yeah, I think they understand. I mean, just watch college basketball. Purdue's a good team. Give them credit. We had a trouble guarding Travion. We were in foul trouble. There was no shell shock. They were on to the next play. They've done this. They've been around this. This group's an experienced group. You know, fans might look at it and say, whoa, they're shell shocked, an 18-point loss. I think guys that have been in it understand that you got to play the full 40 minutes. You're playing a really good team. They're going to make some plays. They did. We can do some things better. But I was super proud, Steve, of their poise in the midst of those timeouts.
Thanks.
Next up is Bill Landis with Doug Lees-Marie on deck. Bill.
Chris, your bench was obviously big for you today, and you've got a very interesting collection there. With you got a conference player of the year, a freshman who does finger guns, a kid who should be in high school. Like I don't think you break your roster down, starters and reserves, but that is like kind of a quirky, unique group. And I'm just wondering what it's like to coach them and then also see them on the floor in overtime together when you're trying to close out a Big Ten tournament game.
Yeah, it's a good way. Quirky's a good way of putting it. We've got a really fun group, really fun group that I love and appreciate. You know, they doused me. It's why my hair's looking like it is. They doused me with water in the locker room and kept saying 200. I had no idea what they were talking about. But they kept saying it over and over. I thought I owed somebody 200. And they're just a really fun group to be around. And you see it right in the way we play, and you see it in their interaction on the bench.
All right, our last few questions here. We'll get Doug Lees-Marie, followed by Tim Hall. Doug.
Hey, Chris. Is Kyle being checked for a possible concussion issue?
He is, Doug. Yes, he is.
He was on the floor for, I think, 4 possessions, 2 on each end after he took that elbow in the head. Why was he on the floor that long after that?
I don't know how long the possessions were. He said he was. I don't. To be honest with you, I'd like to look back and know the exact scenario right now. I think in that moment right now, we pulled him initially out of an abundance of caution. I think he said he wanted to play and gave us the indication that he was okay. Perhaps looking back on it, I could have pulled him and maybe should have done that. But in that moment, I just kind of looked and trusted what he said.
All right, next up is Tim Hall, and we'll finish with Adam Jardy. Tim.
Coach, I didn't even realize this, but your team just tweeted out that was your 200th overall win. It's always a milestone. I know you're not in the time to think about things like that, but if there was any comment at all on getting it this type of way.
Well, it's a memorable one for sure, Tim. It really is a memorable one. And, that's humbling that those guys would do that and think enough to do that. It really is. But I've lost a lot of games too. So players win games, coaches lose games, and we live with those losses. So hopefully we'll enjoy this one. I appreciated them doing that. I can have time for a couple more.
All right, we've got the last two coming here with Adam Jardy. Adam.
I just forgot Chris, on senior day, I asked you afterward about how emotional Dwayne was afterward and trying to leave the court and just how down he was. To get to see him today leave the court and yelling OH to the fans and speaking to the national media on TV, what was that like for you to see a guy who had such a tough day and such a tough aftermath of that game have a moment like this and to come out the way that he did?
Yeah, there's nothing better. There's nothing better than having your players, enjoy the moment. And we kept saying that over and over. This is fun. It's a road environment against a really good team. Let's play with smiles on our face. Let's enjoy it. You know, it was really good to see. Dwayne really felt the senior day loss because I think he felt like, and he's one of our best players, he felt, you know, responsible. And, you know, I'm a proud parent. I get angry when people are critical, what I think are overly critical of our players. And I think for Dwayne, he's handled that really well because there is an admission that we all have to do things better, coaches and players. And to see him respond and enjoy his decision-making, which was really the difference in overtime versus, you know, what happened a couple games ago, it's a credit to him. It's a credit to him.
And for you guys to win multiple games, Ohio State hasn't done it in this tournament since 2014. I know you haven't had historically a lot of success in conference tournaments.
No, I have not.
And we haven't brought that up until this point. But now that you've had this success and you're making a run here, what does that say about the character of this team and about maybe what this season ultimately will end up being remembered for? That you guys have been able to do something that your teams haven't done and Ohio State hasn't done in some.
Yeah, Adam, I think that, listen, I think as a coach, you're always looking and seeing, okay, what, you know, are there reasons behind that? Was it bad draws or, you know, something that I can do better in terms of preparation? We've obviously had a lot of close games in conference tournament play. Got to the semifinals our last year at Gardner-Webb, but I think as much as anything, what I've said all along is that this is a special group. And I said it to you guys last week when we were in the midst of a tough stretch. I felt like we were playing well at times. We just weren't able to complete some games, and we need to do some things better. But it's been a special group all year. It has been a really special group. And for us to do some of the things we've done that I think, quite honestly, people weren't sure that we could in this year has been rewarding. And you know, I'm so hungry to continue to do it with this group because they're fun to be around every day.
Awesome. Coach, appreciate your time.